Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, teaching His word in truth and sincerity. I'm back with another lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. And this lesson is going to be titled, The Angels Don't Have Sex. Right? The angels don't have sex. And this doctrine has been taught by these so-called Christians, right, by misinterpreting the scriptures, right? They also have the book of Enoch, these different pseudepigraphers that delve more into, the false doctrine, and this is why, having, gotten the understanding in the spirit, from Yahweh Bashim Shai and our teachers, we're supposed to dispel these false doctrines. All right, so we're going to go into a few scriptures. Lord willing, these lessons edifying and short, concise, to the point. This is Matthew 22 and 23. It says, the same day came to him the Sadducees, which say there is no resurrection, and asked him. So the Sadducees didn't believe in the resurrection. They didn't believe in the spiritual realm. They didn't believe in angels nor demons. All right, so they're trying to trip Yahushua up in the doctrine, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. Right? So in the law, if you had a brother and he passed away, if he didn't have any kids, you were to raise seed unto your brother, right? By sleeping with his wife or his, his lady, however you want to say it, because we know that once a man dies, the woman is no longer bound to the husband anymore. So that was the way that they raised up seed into their family. It says, now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third unto the 7th, and the last of all the women died also. Right? So they're giving Yahushua a scenario of what would you do if this happened. Not only did the first brother die, but 7 brothers died. So what does it say? It says, therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her. So it says, Yahushua answered and said unto them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures nor the power of God. Right, so they don't understand the resurrection. They don't understand the spiritual realm, but Yahushua does. So he says, for in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given into marriage, but as the angel, but as God, but are the angels of God in heaven. Let me read that again. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given into marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. So in the resurrection, that word for resurrection, we're going to read it. I believe it's the word anastasis.
Strong's G 386. Anastasis.
Anastasis. It means a raising up, rising from the dead. It's that of Mashiach, that of the men at the end of the present age. The resurrection of certain ones, history, who were restored in life. This is talking about the spiritual realm. This is the raising up it's talking about. Because when you die, your spirit rises up and it goes into the spiritual realm. Right? Mind you, they didn't believe in the spiritual realm. They didn't believe in angel or demons. So that's why they're asking Yahushua these questions. Giving them this scenario. So let's read, let's go back to Matthew 23, and it was at 30? For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given to marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. So we know that marriage is having sex. When you have sex, you become one flesh with that woman, and you are married or tied into that woman. Right? That is marriage, sex. So the celestial bodies and terrestrial bodies, they have different glories. Let's read about that. This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 40. There are also celestial bodies and bodies. Actually, let me actually go to 39. I think that's a better spot. All flesh is not the same flesh, But there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. So how the animals on the earth, they're not the same. It's also the same for different realms, right? You have a human body, a terrestrial body, then you have a celestial body, right? It says, so there's pretty much a difference between all flesh that's on the earth. It says, there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. Right? Let me read it down. It says, there is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star is different from another star in glory. Right? So even when you look at the stars, right, the heavens, these different bodies, there are different glories for these celestial bodies. We know the moon is a brighter light. I mean, the moon is a lesser light, Slakia, and the sun is a brighter light. The stars have a nice twinkle to it, right? They have their own glory. It says there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, right? So you have celestial bodies going into the spiritual realm, and you have terrestrial bodies going into the physical bodies on the earth. You know, the physical bodies of men, and it says they have different glories. So the glory of a spiritual or a celestial body is not to have sex. That's not their glory. Just as like it's not our glory to have celestial strength, right? Scriptures say the angels excel in strength. We don't excel in strength like the angels do. That's their glory. So we all have different glories, man. And the glory of a celestial body is not to have sex. That's the whole point. All right, so let's go to Ecclesiastes 3:21. It says, who knowing the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast goeth downward to the earth. And that's pretty much the definition of what we said the word resurrection was, agnosis, right? It means to go up or to rise. The spirit of man goeth upwards, right? You rise into the spiritual realm, and then you are like an angel. You're like a spirit. Because when you die, you pretty much become an angel. You're a spirit. Now, you shed your earthly body and you became a spirit. So you're just like the angels in heaven who don't have sex because or who don't marry because they don't have sex, because sex is something that is the glory of the terrestrial, right? So I believe that's a short lesson, quick, to the point. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim HaKadosh. Next time, Lord willingly, Shalom.